Yeah, that's the big thing for mine. Like, I
5
understand the
seconds
Snapfire, right?
remaining.
It gives you a lot of team fight. It gives you more
Radiant
stuns.
team
The
pick.
Mortimer's Kisses is another way to get in onto those backlines. Again, the Sand King is fine, right? Anytime you're up against a melee hero, you love having the Sand King just because the Caustic Finale bullies them out of the lane, even the Sandstorm in a more finer way. So, yeah, I feel like this is fine
Are they
coming
hoodwink?
through this game for RSG. On
10
RSG,
seconds remaining.
I get
I don't. Yeah, not with a Death Prophet being
5
picked there.
seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
The sack.
what
Sure,
why
why not?
what were you what was the reasoning with the Death Prophet? Like, it's just because you didn't want to reveal where the DP was going?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I still wanted them to go something that was a little bit ambiguous, right? And we've seen through just game one that they're able to switch up the Leshrac. It doesn't need to
10
lane
seconds
into this
remaining.
Invoker. Maybe they're going to pick, with their last pick of the overall draft, just something
5
that's going to be
seconds
good laning
remaining.
into that. I mean, a Kunkka wouldn't be horrible for the mid lane. I think it'd be pretty solid, actually, just to be able to set up with a lot of those extra stuns.
Dire team
Boat gives a
Radiant
ton of extra
team ban.
survivability to the Death Prophet and the Leshrac in team fights, so they do ban it out on Motivate, though. I like that. It was an instant Invoker counter pick, though.
I mean, we were speaking about what the Ogre could do with the Tiny, and I mean, now you have the Invoker Tiny combo with Alacrity,
10
so
seconds
something that
remaining.
was very scary in Gamers Galaxy and for Motivate. Now just
5
looking to
seconds
outround their
remaining.
draft with a offlaner that can initiate and find some way to set up for these combos.
I mean, what's left? I mean, Tide Hunter's in the pool. It's not a bad Tide Hunter game. They are kind of reliant on, outside of the Leshrac, a lot of long cooldown abilities, so you can afford to have something like the Ravage just because it gives you insane team fight. You've got a Cataclysm combination, sets up for Mortimer's Kisses. Wouldn't hate it.
Dire
And what
team
about for
ban.
RSG though? What do we? I suppose they got 23rd pick, so we have to be looking towards our MKS hero, I believe, to pair with probably a Death Prophet 5.
Radiant team pick.
Well, that's the thing, right? I don't think you want the Leshrac playing into the Invoker lane, so I think RSG could just look to do a same thing that they did in that game and just run SKS's hero mid. So that's really what I'm looking at.
Okay.
What they want to have up into this Invoker. And I like the fact that Motivate.Trust are getting rid of these heroes that don't
10
need mana
seconds
to have
remaining.
effectiveness, right? Kunkka, Tidebringer, Monkey King, Jingu Mastery,
5
and all the
seconds
lifesteal that you get
remaining.
from that. So I'm racking my brain as to what they could look to go for that fits that same sort of mold. Maybe a Dragon Knight?
It, you reckon he doesn't need mana? I think he needs mana.
Not as much as, like, a Spirit Hero, for example, or a Lash.
Sure.
You've got good right click damage, so you could get a lot out of the laning stage. And it gives you extra push, right? DK, Lash, Death Prophet, tons of push.
Yeah, it could be something scary.
Seems like I feel like that's what RSG are thinking about, right? Like they're
Dire
going all the
team
way down
pick.
to almost the end of their reserve
Wind
time.
Ranger at your
Wind Ranger,
service.
okay, so just something that maybe is able to avoid a lot of the cold snap EMP combos coming through.
So what's now the offlane pick for Mastros? Like you said, you brought up the Tide before.
10 seconds
Do
remaining.
you want another like offlane initiator? Is it you want
5
AoE
seconds
instead of like
remaining.
single target? Legion's always a potential, but I feel like you probably want AoE with the Invoker Snap.
Yeah, I mean, Legion's okay, right? I mean, you're not against a melee hero, so the value's nowhere near as strong. Uh, just something that allows you to set up for Cataclysm. I feel like you are going to be lacking that burst damage. Because again, we saw how effective the Bloodstone was in game number one. Wind Ranger, unless you're getting that chain lockdown, is going to be able to win run away. Death Prophet, Spirit Siphons to be able to survive. I feel like you do need that mass lockdown that nothing's going to provide outside of like the perfect tornado into the perfect cookie, into the perfect avalanche, you know?
Come on, what are those massive heroes? When he's got this 24th pick, what's he asking for?
Give me the Tide Hunter.
Right.
Tide Hunter with a hood first into a Blink Dagger.
So you're not going to get as much. Do you think there's going to be a Snap Tiny Lane or a Grim Tiny Lane?
You may now select your
Okay,
heroes.
Brewmaster. It gives them good team fight, right? And it's a good way to get the dispels off as well, particularly for things like the Wind Ranger until she gets the talent. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I still feel like they are lacking that hero that wants to get in onto the backlines. Like, how are you going to be able to take Xiao Bonbon out of a lot of these engagements? How are you going to be able to get the jump onto Seal before he's and the vision factor, right? It's not in your favor. Not in either team's favor, to be honest. But like, I don't know. I just felt like there was potential openings where you would be able to take fights on your terms, perhaps. And I don't know. The Brewmaster kind of feels a little shaky for that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Invoker Tiny, and I'm giving the edge to Motivate, but then the factor that you're saying that they can't get on Jar Bonbon's a concern because you just purge off. Alacrity is purgeable, right? I'm certain it is. So that's a big concern. I mean, maybe Brewmaster just cyclones up the Shadow Demon, but I feel like you're also considering you probably rather do that to the Leshrac, but I think double Aghanims is a concern.
The Shadow Demon as well, right?
Yeah.
Xiao Bonbon's going to be playing in trees, 100%, and you have no vision that's going to be able to scout that out. Are you just like Tiny plus Invoker buffed Alacrity is just way too strong? Is that your mindset?
That I'm going Motivate solely because I think that is just it's a really stupid combo. Tiny's really strong, but now you've got an extra way to buff him up. You've got late game potential. GotchaBoiz on a really comfort hero in the Invoker. Excellent though is looking pretty comfort too on the Wind Ranger. Actually, what level is she? 29. So still very, very comfortable on the Wind Ranger. But yeah, I feel like I'm just really concerned about the Invoker Tiny, and I think Brewmaster with double split is a nuisance for these fights. But again, Radiant, they can really run over this game. I think Dire are going to be a lot more late game. Not late game, but like 25 minutes or even 20 dependent, whereas Radiant, I don't think they need as much time.
They need like 15 minutes when they need to be making a lot of plays happen. The big difference though is that the I hate this voice line so much. The Roche taking potential isn't anywhere near as strong as last game, right? Like Slardar, TA, it's just nuts. Whereas this game, you have to use so many resources, whether it be the Exorcism, the Focus Fire, a ton of mana on the Leshrac to be able to do it for RSG. So
You copying me or what?
You know what? No, I think I'm going to go RSG again. They impressed me a lot. I feel like while Exilon needs to make so much happen at the start of a lot of these games, he's shown that he has, 3 out of 3 games, he has been a baller in the laning stage.
We'll see if that's going to continue to be the case here with his matchup. Xiao Bonbon takes some damage early on, and Tigger actually able to land the cookie, so this should be our first blood. Now the banishment just lets another rally of abilities fly out and right clicks. Very nicely done.
Oh, that's pretty big, honestly. Being able to give that one over to Massa just enables him for that super early game.
This bow shoots so quick.
Not the sort of kill that you want to be giving up. I mean, they did get 3 bounty runes, sure, but Brewmaster's probably the hero that isn't necessarily the strongest laner, and so any kind of extra gold that you can get is just worth so much.
Yeah, how do you feel like his lane's got it fair, in particular against the Lesh and the Shadow Demon, and how MG.Trust looks to skill build?
I think it's going to be fine, but the thing is, MKS, he's the one that you're going to be wanting to go on more often than not, and the movement speed advantage that you have from this Leshrac means that you're not going to be caught quite as easily by a lot of these slows and stuns looking to come out.
GotchaBoiz being such a nuisance. Cold Snap just to stop the charge up of the power shot so he could deny the range creep. And you're showing why he's Grandmaster here on the Evoker.
He did have a very good laning stage last game on GotchaBoiz there, so there's nothing really that you could really discredit about how he was able to play the start of that game. It's just the teamwork just doesn't seem quite as much there when compared to RSG, which is kind of surprising, especially with how much these guys have played around each other.
I guess it is just a bit awkward though, because him not having any mana, so it's not like he can kind of spam out Tornado to secure range, or even Tornado EMP to be a nuisance and get a little bit of that mana back. So probably going to be off the back of Water Runes for Garchomboy and just the help of the Null as well.
I mean, this is kind of the thing with ex-ChubbyBoiz, right? Of course, it's nice if he's able to have the mana to be able to use the power shot to get a lot of those last hits. But yeah, you mentioned the only way that Invoker has to get that mana back is EMP. You know, being able to steal back 50% of the mana that you drain. And well, if he has no mana, then can't really do much of anything.
It's top lane for Xiaoyu and Seal. Decent start, but Toy as well. They have once again lost equilibrium. This is now second game in a row where we've seen Radiant have this hard camp available. Gonna look to battle over to the Death Prophet though. The combo's landing. Seal now has Xiaoyu to step in. Looks like the Death Prophet though, a couple more right clicks. He's got the Self, gets the trick out. Boombuoy, does he want to throw the Stroke of Fate? Won't be able to do enough damage regardless. Does still cancel the Self though, so Seal might have to consider making a trek back to the fountain.
Yeah, and he will. All right, 3 minutes in. How are the lanes looking? I mean, kind of expected. Oof! Excellent! Oh, one more!
Cross regen. Gotcha, hide in the trees. Tango cut through
Power
Seal.
regen.
No, he's got Tornado and Cold Snap.
Oh.
Gotcha, boy. Oh, that's huge. What's going on bottom? Shouted even in Brew. They also trade their life as well, so MKS gets a kill along with Tigger's Snapfire.
And the Quas regen, the tower regen and armor, the Tango ticking at the time on GachaBoy. Honestly, he would have got the kill if he just didn't hesitate for that half second on the win range. Ended up taking about a half step back and going on to the Invokers. So that's all the difference that it makes at this level of Dota.
No gold for you.
Do you feel like Wind Ranger is a really snowball type of hero, or are you able to come
Of
back
course.
if you have a... Okay.
I don't think you can come back at all. Like, every time that we've seen it, probably the best recent performance that we saw on it was like Yopaj as well as Somnus in the Chinese region, and they literally had to make every single rotation work. If they didn't, they would have just fallen way too far behind because you don't have a similar sort of way as a lot of other mids to flash
Bottom
one.
lane. Banishment set up. Massa. Oh, they're going to miss on the Split Earth. Up to 4 poison stacks, so something Mastros has to keep in the back of his mind with how aggressive he's playing. They're going to miss onto the Brew Q, and now they can even find Tigger as well. So this should be a double kill in the end for RSG. And you were seeing the praises of their laning stage in game 1, and that's continuing to be, you know, their powerful position for them in the second game.
Just having hit up onto the level 3 with Xiao Bonbon, so he had the extra damage coming through from the Shadow Poison. That was the difference maker. Still, though, another game where GachaBoy has a good lane in mid, already having a little bit of a net worth lead over ex-ChubbyBoiz, making sure to use the power shot before the EMP hits. So
Sand King's got to go down
damaged
top,
as much.
actually. They have a sentry, Toy and Boombuoy. Oh, no. He ran out of sentry range. Self doesn't matter. Toy close the distance, get that last little right click. But he's got creeps to go back and farm, so it's like, sealed. No, that's not a hero we can bring down.
Still, though, this is kind of what I was expecting out of last game from RSG, ironically. Like, just getting a lot of these early kills with the kill lanes that you have. But, excellent. Is he going to be able to dodge the EMP? Yes, he will. That just makes it so much harder for GachaBoy. The next kill in mid lane is so impactful, right? You have the urn freshly picked up. You want to make sure that he's not able to
targeting
bring the run away.
Mastros. They're going to look to TP in this time, however. GachaBoy try and be that extra +1 to push back MKS, who's juking through the tree line, but
Look at the
Mastros
dude.
is scouting this out. Again, though, the poison stacks up to 5 now, so Xiao Bonbon can keep them going. Off to the side, though, we'll see the last strike end up falling, and now with the Cinder Brew slow, Mastros is just able to survive on a slither of health. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, it leaves Boombuoy, who is trying to soak up some of the experience. Vulnerable is Seal, with the help of Ex-Sillen's double damage rune. Get the achieved kill.
Dire's structures
And
are
that's another
fortified.
time where someone survives on like 5 HP on Motivate side. So being able to bring it so close. Importantly, though, GachaBoy was there. He made a nice rotation, and now he has the charges in the Urn of Shadows, having to be very careful on Ex-Sillen now.
We're off to a crazy start. 10 kills pre 7 minutes. Might add another one with Mastros in the tree line again. RSG Relentless
Body
with their
block?
aggression. Nice body blocks for MKS. They won't even need the banishment this time to set up as now the Leshrac is level 6 and he's got enough enough gold for the arcane boot. So I struggle to see how the Brew can get anything out of this bottom lane now.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. And they're even... Oh, he's only got the 1 point in the Diabolic Edict, I suppose. Or if he was going to go and have a
Radiant's
check
middle
of
tower
the
is under attack.
the stacks inside the Dire Triangle. Like it, though. Just wanted to get some of that pressure started out. Maybe even force another rotation through because very hard to see. He doesn't die. He doesn't die. He doesn't die.
He doesn't die.
He
Maybe
doesn't
MKS
die.
dies. Nope, Mastros, one more right click. In fact, it's a lightning storm as Danog saying he doesn't die. That was very convinced as well. And now they're even going to try and push this one onto Tigger. Simultaneously across the map, we see the Grimstroke going down. Tigger's not down just yet. She can cross the tree line, but it looks like the poison's enough to get the kill. Now to top we go as Toy 1v2. What is going on? Sillin drops... Crap. What, dude, what's happening across the map? Did GachaBoiz solo kill Sillin? I'm sorry.
He did. I mean, it's just the power of the Cold Snap, Urn of Shadows, right? You're always sitting very low on mana. Just have a look at ex-Learn before he respawns down to 22 mana, so he didn't have enough to be able to use the Focus Fire to get... Sorry, the Wind Run to get away. Oh, he just wants to get that Observer Ward. Got it. Mission accomplished for Xiao Bonbon.
What? Question mark? Is that where you all chat? Come on.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was a pub with the all chat. Where's the pub level of respect coming out?
SCA servers have huge levels of respect. I'm not sure what you are talking
Dude. You know it. Top lane, Toy, along with Boom Boo, once again, gonna combine together to get, unless it's denied. Oh, it's unlucky if a measly old course is able to get the kill. Toy, even better start than what we saw in game 1. His lane wasn't bad at all versus the Slaughter, but this time he's got 2 kills to add to the 50 last hits.
Big difference, though, is that, again, you're this win range. You've died a couple of times. You do have 1 assist, but it's just not the same level of catch-up mechanic, right? He's going to need this magic stick. He doesn't need the full wand. But then you need to go into something that's going to enable you to get kills. Javelin immediately after that.
Do you feel like they have heroes that he can play off the back of to try and get these early kills with him lacking damage?
I mean, it's going to be based on Zhao Yu having Blick Dagger, essentially, right?
Sure.
While he's still a little slow to move around. Oh,
Zhao Yu just able to make it down to the river. He's got Seal nearby, but GachaBoiz TP pre-Spirit Vessel is not going to net them a kill, so back to farming the Invoker is going to go. Let's see if he runs into Seal. He does have Tigger nearby. We're going to have to try and rely on the Ghost Walk movement speed slow, but a great use of the silence prevents any follow-up. Even Sillen's going to put his body on the line just to act as that bodyguard. He's like, yeah, I'll protect my support. You stay away from him. Oh, first tower. MKS, nicely done. Do you reckon there should be a first tower gold bounty?
Massive? Reward more Fastodo.
Yeah, potentially. First use of the Prime was split, and this is a huge kill for Mastros to be able to catch back up a little bit. Yeah, Bonbon's going to TP down, but the banishment really only delays the inevitable. See, we're going to look. If he gets a Cyclone, there are some heroes by the remnants of the tier 1, but Ja Bonbon doing a good job to hide in the trees.
I mean, you do still get that tier 1 tower, though, right? So it feels like you're kind of okay with making that trade, even though Lesh had, of course, a very nice start to the game. Wonder if that means that... I mean, you can't really put the Wind Ranger down on the bottom side, though. He's got the Javelin, though, and the DD. This will be a huge kill.
I get it. That's a lot of catch-up for Sillen, and probably a lot of damage into the tower, too. Bottom lane. They were eyeing up Xiao Bonbon for quite some time, and looks like with Tigger and Boom Booey now stepping the double supports, all they needed was a way to propel Mastros forward, but...
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter, though. Like, with Xiao Bonbon going down, right? Like, top side, siege creep, double damage, Leshrac making the rotation. You're going to get a tower in exchange for a position 5. Like, that is not what 3 heroes need to be focusing on.
And importantly, Sillen has that Javelin, so now he can get maybe some solo kills. Can he? I feel like you'd have to be very far away from anyone else to get a kill on the Grimstroke and Snap, because he's still a little bit behind, but that's that one item that can propel him further in this game.
I mean, I doubt that he's going to be going for many kills on his own. Like, I think you still need to be farming a little bit on the Leshrac, but Sand King got the Blink Dagger now, so he's looking to make a bit of a rotation through with the rest of the supports. Maybe ex-CubbyBoiz will even just be a bit bait in this mid lane.
Xiao Yu's mega farmed. Hood Blink, now the reveal. They're going to jump deep under the tower, but a cookie gives MG.Trust a little bit of breathing room. Behind the T1 tower they go as MKS.
Iron's coming.
Even trying to backstab, but Toy, he goes in the middle. He's away from the team. And Toy, that's not the position you want to TP into the middle. Vidi drops the combo. Still, at least he's going to get as much damage out as he can before he goes down. So it's a 2-for-1 trade. It's Motivate. What was looking like a horrible start, Xiao Yu lines up the double Boris track, and now Gotcha Boy, he's entered the river, and that's now lay it down with blood as MG.Trust finds the Inkspo onto 3. Wow, wouldn't expect that at this time of the game. A Primal split back up. They can bring down Jar Bonbon, and also simultaneously it's a solo kill for MG.Trust as they get to position 2. What a fight for Motivate to at least resemble a decent skirmish.
That's again just Massa, right? I really feel like they look the best on Motivate.Trust when they're looking to play around him. He did so much that game, able to keep people locked down with a lot of his slows while that Soulbind was off, getting solo kills here, there, and everywhere, 3-man stuns. It's just a crazy amount that he's able to do with not so much farm. And well, now he actually has the most farm on his team because of all of his involvement.
And that's huge. I was speaking about the items and how much I think it's, in general, it's a big item on Brew, but I feel like this is a game where he could take over.
Absolutely. You know, it was, I don't want to call it optimistic going for that kill right underneath the T1 tower, but I don't think you needed to go for the full-on smoke there. I feel like you could maybe try and play for the counter initiation yourselves, where, you know, you're putting a Leshrac, he's got the full points in the Diabolic Edict, put him on the front line, stand behind him in the smoke. That tower's low, and you want to defend a mid tier 1 tower, so maybe they could have got the better end of that if they didn't have to fight underneath a tier 1.
It does seem to be at the moment, though, Dire more reactionary. Like, they don't have ways to start fights without the Blink Dagger, where we see one on Sand King, and eventually we could see one on ex-CubbyBoiz as well. So could this ever be a concern for Motivate?
I feel like it is a little bit of a concern, but again, I don't feel like that's what you're playing for. You're not really playing for the pickoffs because you have no heroes that can do it outside of maybe the Shadow Blade on the Tiny.
Smoke up.
Right now, it's
Xiao Yu and ex-CubbyBoiz with the triangle, but Toy is able to sidestep and they target an easy kill in Boom Booey.
And that one tree that got added in the most recent patch ended up being his undoing there with the Shackle Shot.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mid tower gone.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
All right, nighttime. I mean, this is a scenario that favors RSG, right? You've got better pickoff potential. Instantly, you're not able to react quite as quickly if you're on Motivate.Trust side. They are basically, look, let's try and get this Tiny as a hyper carry and use that to push into the later stages of the game with our alacrity. You saw that from the very start. That's how they wanted to play.
Jar Bonbon? An expedition deep inside Motivate's jungle. So it can cost him his life, and simultaneously MG.Trust, he's hunting some more heroes as well. He's going to cyclone up ex-CubbyBoiz. Xiao Yu with the counter initiation, but the solo epicenter just onto Boom Booey, so it's not enough to turn the fight back into RSG's favor. As MG.Trust is just outplaying them so heavily with this primal split. But now they'll turn their attention to Xiao Yu. A Boris track into the river, but Tigger on point, reading this like a book. He knows exactly where he's going.
So there's a couple of times now that Xiao Bonbon's perhaps put himself a little bit too far forward and been caught out as a result. And, you know, if you don't have that save, we just see what can happen in a lot of these engagements, right? But I believe that's the Aghanim Scepter now finished, or almost finished by MG.Trust. But, like, I understand why they were trying to do it. You know, I just said it was nighttime. They wanted to make sure they had that high ground vision so that they could look to play around, go for the pickoffs consistently, and continue using their strong pushing lineup to be able to take towers. It just so happened that Motivate had a very defensive ward at the time, so it worked out so much better for them. The only counterpoint that I can make to that is that maybe MKS should have waited until he had his own BKB. He had already purchased the Ogreax and Mithril Hammer, and he was about 500 gold away from the full BKB itself. So maybe that's the way that they need to do this. You know, still look to fight at nighttime, just wait for that one more item before you can do so.
And this BKB is going to be huge, though, for him just to stand his ground, because we've seen multiple times he's been cycloned into the air, and to a lot of just the consistent damage for RSG. So now with him having this next big item, you know, we could see the fights that have been favoring Motivate start to swing back to the side of Radiant.
Getting a bunch of these neutral items as well. The Grove Boat, very nice for a Wind Ranger. That's the magic resistance reduction, especially when combined together with a Maelstrom, real effective. And I mean, if they were able to get this this Yule Scepter on Zhao Yu as well, that'd be the dream. Very close to being able to pick it up. Sandstorm clipping a bunch of these creeps as well, so be damn close to having it finished. He doesn't. Does he know? He doesn't know. They're all there. Don't get greedy.
I think Zhao Yu's seen a couple of heroes with the lane ward. Alright, here we go. We're only 18 minutes in, but a couple of swipes from Toy's going to get the tower, and Zhao Yu's like, yeah, look, I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is not a tower I'm going to defend. I'll just get out.
I mean, 18 minutes to lose your first tower, you don't hate that, right? And now he's got the Yule Scepter, you've got the BKB on the Leshrac. Some big timings are starting to come out from RSG. So right now, the big priority for them is get some deep vision up, look to go for pickoffs while it's still nighttime.
Mid lane. Zillion's got to be careful in this lane. It's important he shoves it out. We'll make it very obvious now with this smoke if no one's going to farm the area. You see, now they're going to back off.
I like Zhao Bonbon positioning behind the Wind Ranger, but
Zhao Yu,
perhaps
the jump,
he's just a little
Toy.
bit too close.
Going to try and target down the Shadow Demon. And it looks like he is a little bit too close, unfortunately. We've got the Masteros ultimate as well, so this will be the life of the Sand King.
He'll getting greedy on this top side. I mean, they're going to be able to tornado him up.
Oh, silenced. Okay, nice play.
Oh.
3-second silence duration. Level 1.
Alacrity. Tiny.
Middle tower is under attack.
Whack, whack.
So I know you said one tower at 18 minutes, but it's about to be 2 towers now, and...
It was still 1 tower at 18 minutes.
Yes, I understand. But they are well and truly at their timer. Masteros, Aghanims, Toy Blink, and these BKBs, you wanted to see RSG smoke instantly with them and take a fight, but they hit identical timings and they're looking really scary now.
Looking to take away their triangle. This is exactly what you want to do whenever you've got a lead.
Masteros.
Of course, you can still get
Run straight to seal.
but
Gotta be cautious. He needs to get the ultimate off fast enough. The burst might be enough actually to bring him down. The Fear's gonna drag him away. They're targeting Tiny as well, as Toy just gets ripped apart, and even though Masteros is able to find the primal split, they'll lose the Tiny
he got the Wind Panda away.
at the cost of his life, so very nicely done though, Masteros. He's outie. Tigger, oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, did he get greedy for the regen? He's already got the shard and blink actually on Tigger. They're gonna try and play around with their own high ground ward. GotchaBoi's gonna lead in.
They have it.
Spawn the Ghost. Still, the Death Prophet's not an easy kill, especially with Zhao Bonbon tailing Zhao Yu. He's even got the epicenter still to charge up as well. Tigger holds them back, but it doesn't matter. Both supports die. Very nicely done.
All right, and you know, you just see the difference in having that BKB on MKS, right? You're able to consistently run on forward. They almost got that kill onto the Brewmaster as well, right? The Wind Panda got away on about 10% HP, so he was able to respawn onto that one. But yeah, you can very easily just keep this push going on the top side at the very minimum. Force out a glyph here with the Siege Creep wave.
I think another thing is we see how different it is when the Shadow Demon doesn't die first as well. Like just how much the banishment can offer as them wasting a couple abilities and jumping the hero that they wanted to initially blow up, and then all of a sudden he's banished, and now you're kind of stuck in the middle, and with your pants down, it's like, how do we take this fight now?
Seal, he's making his way towards his level 12 as well, going that semi-core kind of build, right? Into the Aghanim Shard for the Spirit Siphon. Scratch that. He is level 12, just having the Courier deliver the Tome. He'll end up dying here, though.
This is scary, because I think both sides have very good supports to scale into this game. Oh, split from Massa.
Wow. All right.
I really think both sides have
Got the Ags.
super good supports to scale. Like, you've got a Shouted Demon, he's already got the Aghanim Shard. We spoke about the Death Prophet can just provide core amounts of damage as a support as the game goes on. And for Dire, I mean, Snapfire with Blink and Ag Shard, so he can act as initiator, but also get a lot of farm now with this shard, so that could be potentially more items to be picked up. And Boombu is similar too, with this Ag Shard himself, so I feel like we're going to see a lot of impact from the supports this game. It's not just like the, you know, sacrificial 5.
Yeah, of course. Like, they just need to... There's no real reason for the supports on either side to be frontlining. You know, if you're getting caught out, it's because your positioning is not so great. They don't have any heroes that are able to dive in super deep. Maybe the Sand King can be the one, you know, once he's got that Blink Dagger, he's pretty decent cast range now on the Burrow Strike. One thing I actually want to point out as well, RSG, just have a look at their vision right now. And they've got a lot of sentry wards out on the map. I did just see Bumbui get rid of one on, you know, a pretty common spot in the Cliff Ward where they've just placed one inside the Radiant Jungle. But a lot of other unorthodox ones, just making sure that even though you don't provide the most vision for your team, it's very rare that that sort of stuff is going to get dewarded unless you pick up a gem. So I wonder if teams come up against RSG in the future, they're going to prioritize having a gem earlier on into the game, just because of where they're looking to place these wards.
Very unnatural ward placements. So it's, like you said, just the vision that it's able to provide, which I have to imagine they're going to look to try and take a fight by the top outpost area, just because they have the most vision near that side of the map, and you have a lineup that can really lead into objectives with Exo, with Diabolic Edict. So if you win a fight there, then you could take tier 2 top, tier 2 mid, and whatever you want.
Yeah, he needs to be careful here. I mean, he's got the Yule Scepter, I suppose, to be able to get out of the Cold Snap, the Spirit Vessel, dodge the EMP, but it does force a movement up here for a Gacha Boy to make sure that this tier 2 tower doesn't go down for nothing. They see him there? They don't, but they're still pinging him out.
What do you think of Xiao Yu not going Ag Shard in 2 games in a row now? Actually, so the Sand Kings in 2 games in a row that we've seen not go the Ag Shard, because we saw a lot of the importance of it over in Gamers Galaxy, and now not so much.
I don't think it's that great, to be honest. I feel like you need to be prioritizing a little bit more of just lane pressure, right?
Xiao Yu will start. See how survivable the Brewmaster's truly going to be. They want to drop everything to get rid of the Brewmaster. He doesn't have a buyback to rejoin the fight. But the Sand King, is that the hero you really want to get rid of? He's got the Hood, Dual Scepter as well. So Xiao Yu's going to take through the BKB from Toy, but you haven't got it onto Xiao Bonbon. So the defensive banishment keeping him alive. And now excellent lands the shackles. The follow-up from Xiao Yu, double Burrow Strike. This time it's clipping onto Gacha Boy as well. Gonna try and play around with the Ghost Walk. They're lacking detection. Silen. Repositionment. Xiao Yu and Xiao Bonbon. What a fight from them.
Power Zhao, man, and not even going all the way back to base, right? He's got the Hood of Defiance. He's got plenty of regen coming through, so just uses that Boots of Travel. That's what he's essentially getting instead of this Aghanim Shard, right? Wanting to go for this split push style. You can see the Gacha Boys top, so they're just like, all right, no Invoker. Let's play around mid lane. Oh, have to be careful, MKS. Yeah, they see the Brewmaster TP'd in.
Their Masses gonna be very vulnerable pre-Aeon this, which I think he might go after Refresher, because they don't have this Shadow Demon factor like Radiant do. And there is actually Glimmer Cape getting picked up for Grimstroke, so maybe that is going to be something where you consider not having to go into it. But I was a bit concerned because we just saw RSG heavily target him.
Yeah, and he's got the Inkswell as well, right? The Aghanim Shard for that. But I mean, just have a look at the net worth. Grimstroke does not have much. He is, even though he hasn't really been the main focus in a lot of these engagements, only 7 deaths at this stage, but his farm is certainly suffering. Just realizing that, okay, I just need to constantly be standing behind the rest of my team. Seal, this is kind of optimistic, my man.
Yeah, Toy jumped him and he just siphoned to push back Tiny, and yeah, well.
Oh, look at that. They're pinging out Roche. They're like, all right, 4 heroes rotated bottom. Let's take Roche in the meantime.
But they do scan, so they are aware of this, an instant smoke, but it's falling pretty fast. MG.Trust is going to use the split from ages away. They got the Sunstrike for the vision. They're cycling up an illusion, though. Really nicely done from Xiao Bonbon. So it's going to be a cycling on cooldown at the moment. They're actually still able to find the Shadow Demon anyway, so not the greatest illusion dodge, and they still run into the Leshrac.
It's got BKB. Oh, you get the flick away. He didn't have TP.
Yeah, you
Just got
dance.
delivered.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's on these haters.
All right. A really nice heads-up play there from the Shadow Demon, right? Who would think to disrupt yourself
Dire's top
and just
tower
run the
is
hero
under
up there to
attack.
be able to catch out any kind of initiation coming through?
Or Tigger. Rough life. He just wanted a little bit of farm mid, and all of a sudden his team just vacated away from the area and he's left alone. So he gives up a freebie, RSG, ages advantage on MKS, level 20. This person's going to do so much damage through the fights.
And they finally spotted out that double damage. I mean, you're still a little bit away from the refresher on the Brewmasters, so that's going to give you the damage that you need to guaranteed be able to pick off whatever target you choose to go for. And let's just have a look at what the vision's like at the moment. A nice observer ward coming through from Motivate.Trust, seeing that they're inside the triangle, and kind of the opposite from how they've been playing these last little bit. So let's be able to maybe take the tier 2. They don't have any vision on the Dire side of the map on RSG outside of this one observer ward
Dire's
just
middle
near the
tower
river.
is under attack. Radiant's top tower
like-
is under attack.
Eventual tier 2 to fall though. So it's one that Motivate aren't going to look to defend. You see they just
Dire's middle
push you over to the
tower is
side
under
lanes,
attack.
trying to get those next set of timings, which, what do you feel like they are for Motivate to be able to
Dire's
combat
middle
into this
tower has
Aegis?
fallen.
Ooh, I mean, of course, the refresher coming through. Kind of surprised that you still don't have the
Radiant's bottom
the Shadow
tower
Blade
is
picked
under
up on the
attack.
Tiny, right? He chose to go Echo Saber
Yo.
BKB instead. What are we yoing about?
Well, firstly, MKS is caught out by the triangle, so first life's already taken out a factor. Master's going to try and lead him with the split. Now needs to get onto Xiao Bonbon.
Radiant's
The
bottom
BKB
tower
from
has
MKS can
fallen.
enable him to reposition. But they're still Radiant, beelining towards the area, but now they're able to lock onto Toy Sillen with a double damage rune. Oh, Toy just gets ripped apart. Now ex-Sillen's looking for his next
Radiant's
victim.
warrior has been killed.
It's going to be Mastros actually going down to the south. Meanwhile, Seal just solo
another
kills the
one.
Grimstroke. Mastros, he can't even get the
Oh,
ultimate
again.
off. Perfect use of the tank controllers. RSG picking them apart one by one.
Any buybacks use that fight? No, don't think so. So no one on RSG ended up going down at all. They just continue the push going. I mean, you don't have 3 heroes. You don't want to buy back on a Tiny at this stage. Even just dodging out the EMP with the use of the disruption. No glyph. Just keep the pressure going.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Won't have to be worried about backdoor protection as the creeps room to connect as
Dire's
RSG
middle barracks are under attack.
got plenty of ways to... Edict does so much damage to the objective, so should be a melee and out.
No. Very touch and go if they're able to pick that one up.
Nope.
Yeah, they're even going to get out maybe without
Nope.
picking it up. Oh, one more click. All right.
Dire's middle barracks has
The
So-
important thing was making sure MKS got away.
So what I was reacting to before was GotchaBoy going Tornado cooldown instead of Alacrity at 20, which I felt like he's... Okay, what's your tipping in? I would imagine with a Tiny you would go that talent, but I trust GotchaBoy.
I trust GotchaBoy as well. Hard to not to trust a level 30 on the hero, but I mean, it has to be said, Toy just doesn't feel like he's scaled the way a Tiny should this game so far. Who are they going to be able to catch out here?
Xiaoyu jumps in. They're going to be able to bring Xiao Bonbon down, a key component, but once again, Toy with the focus fire out. Sillen, look at a solo deal with the Tiny, with the BKB soon to expire, and ex-Sillen's doing so much damage throughout the fights. They completely avoid the Primal Split. Now they've even got the extra controllers. Xiaoyu and ex-Sillen chasing deeper inside the enemy's territory. Up the high ground they go. And GotchaBoy will have no one nearby, no reinforcements, as they're on their own jobs. Master's still trying to deal with MKS and Seal. He's already used both charges. He's got the refresher to pop. Maybe with the third use of the split, he can finally kill off MKS, but a BKB into the TPR. My God, 3 splits and you don't even win a fight. That's when you know this game's in a really rough position.
It's just the next big thing, man. He was able to get it onto the right hero again. Tiny, get him locked down. Even, you know, with a shackle shot before the BKB gets
That's all?
popped. You might BKB.
4
but-
ultimates! You 4 ultimates for a Death Prophet! You might not
Oh,
get him!
no.
You might not get
You won't
him!
get him.
And he's going to die for it, probably. Look at this. Silen's trying to find the Wind Panda.
He'll bring him to the Wind Panda, yeah.
He might find him.
Nah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. That's 4 ultimates used in a team fight that you almost nowhere close to winning.
Has fallen.
Mm-hmm. This tier 2 tower is completely gone already, so not even needing the dive there on MKS to be able to claim it. They're pinging up onto the high ground. They're saying, well, Brewmaster doesn't have ultimates. He used 4 that time around, and we've got everything outside of the epicenter, which is up in 4 seconds. Wanted to go for a play they can. I mean, they should have just seen GachaBoy TP bottom. He's got the boots to travel, but you got 2 choices, right? You kill him, or you just keep sieging the high ground. Really surprised that they didn't just look to go high ground there.
Still. Under GachaBoy. Exilin nearby. They need a way to pop the Lincolns. There we go. Nicely played, and another easy pick-off. Gacha's going to go down simultaneously at the front of the tier 2 tower bottom. Boom Booey is also another casualty for Motivated. They're not even done just yet. Xiao Yu setting up on to Mastros. The almighty Mastros, the Brewmaster they need in the team fights. A cookie out. Nice gobble up as well. Even uses the Mortimer Kisses accidentally, but it doesn't matter. You keep Master alive. Toy's going to TP out, but... Oh, man. There's Brew. Buyback on Gacha. Respect the buybacks. Respect how deep you go.
Anytime you're ready.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not wanting to end the game just yet. Really liking the shot calling coming through from RSG. Gonna force a lift.
Jump.
Oh.
There we go. Again, they're on to Mastros. And with MKS here, they're going to be able to bring down Mastros just yet. Pop the split out. It's now giving time for the respawns as well. Toy's going to find an angle. But the goddamn Exo stopping the Blink Dagger from Toy so he can't get in the middle. That's going to be MKS continuing forward, straight on top of GachaBoy. A dieback for the Invoker, as Xiao Yu's making space in the backline as well. The burrow out, Toy protected for a short duration, but there is no escape from the onslaught as RSG, they might have just secured themselves a second victory to start Spring Tour. They're going to toss in Boom Booey. All right, but I don't know what a Grimshot can really do damage-wise. That's a last-ditch attempt. As Motivate, I mean, you're just going to watch everyone fall along with your objectives.
Oh. Along with your hopes as well. MKS is still alive. I mean, I'll be honest, buyback for what? Yeah, what are you going to be able to do as this Grimstroke here? Oh, just able to get the Primal Split off, but I don't think it's going to matter. The damage is still just so lacking, and yeah, with the gem, they're going to get back in onto the Grimstroke, just bought back.
You can do it!
Game is over.
Oh no, they've let the Shouty Demon through, man. Dude, we just shot on button so much. I don't care he died 11 times. There was so many fights. The ones where they really looked like they prevailed, and convincingly, was when Shouty Demon survived. He got banishment off, and everyone else was just able to, you know, Silon played a great job at staying on the tiny. Is he dropping items? No, he's not. Okay. Dude, RSG, man, what the hell?
C?
What, dude, this is not C region. What are you saying?
Absolutely not. But yeah, it seemed like the exact same story from game number 1, right? Very nice lanes, particularly mid lane, coming through from Motivate.Trust. The Leshrac in the safe lane gets much more farmed than he probably should. And Toy's position 1 just doesn't have quite the impact that you are wanting him to, both in terms of farm as well as damage. You know, you mentioned the choice at level 20 to go for the Tornado cooldown instead of the Alacrity damage and speed. Kind of felt to me like GachaBoy had almost lost faith in the ability to for this Tiny to carry the game with the use of that Alacrity. He was like, look, I just gotta try and do it myself because yeah, it just didn't seem to be happening anywhere else.
I mean,
Stonks are rising. RSG.
Stonks are rising. You have to put that as your background, right? It's just a little bit of respect. Come on.
Bro, it is.
Well, I can't see it. You're not there. Come on.
You blind, bro?
Bro, you're not on grid, fam. What do you mean? I can't
actually
see
am.
you. All right, refresh.
Well, I need to. I'll refresh it then.
Yeah, you're telling me I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, you're not there. You need to refresh the.
Yeah, I did. You're on a hot start. So RSG, you're 3-0. I think I'm 1, but Danog said apparently I'm not. So we need to roll the clip and make sure my predictions are stacking up. I don't know. RSG, man. For them to, again, this is an open qualified team. and you've now, it can be really, really a bad feeling when you have 2 series in the first week and you drop them 0-2, and then you only have 4 remaining series for the whole tour. And then you put yourselves in such a sour position. And all they were hoping for when we spoke to Excellent was that the baseline, they just wanted to stay in Division 2. Pretty much 2 victories puts them right up there. Like, that puts them in prime position to just stay there. And I really feel like Division 2 is going to be incredibly competitive. You can't lose series to any team because we're going to see it bite you in the ass as we get later and later.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just really, I just had a look at this. I don't know if you have it up on the screen at the moment, but just have a look at the post game screen. Isn't that a nice little arrow coming through from the blink daggers on RSG side? They're just, perfectly in a little bit of an arrow formation coming through there. And that's where they're going. They're moving forward with another 2-0 victory. And again, it just highlights the fact that I felt like both lineups were lacking that ability to get it onto the backlines, to be able to punish, right? A Snapfire and a Grimstroke, they do want to kind of sit back and not do too much outside of cast their spells. You don't want to get into the middle of the team fight. That's what the rest of your abilities enable your team to do. The difference was RSG had the Blink Dagger on Exilern. You had Zhao Yu with his own Blink Dagger getting so many double stuns coming through, even triple a couple of times to be able to be that backline disruptor. And it felt like outside of Masteros, which, I mean, it's a much slower way to infiltrate onto the backlines. They just didn't have that immediate way to get it onto the backlines, remove the impact of the Shadow Demon, as well as the Death Prophet.
All right, we do have a interview, and we'll get that one in. It is going to be Zhao Yu joining us. Zhao Yu, hello, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome.
Hello?
Hello. Well, firstly, congratulations on your second series victory. I want to speak a little bit about you and your mentality over the past month or so. Of course, we saw you play on TNC prior. Unfortunately for you and the guys over there, the first tour didn't go as well as what I'm sure you're hoping. How was your reaction to not being on the team, and what was kind of your mentality after that?
You mean after I get kicked by TNC?
Yes. Yes.
I just feel like, maybe I'm not playing good enough. Then, yeah, start to trying to improve myself to become a better player. After, cannot think too much, right? Because I get kicked. Yeah,
Did
that's
Well,
my mentality that time.
with being able to improve yourself, what does that involve for you in particular? Is it working on heroes? Is it working on, different aspects of the game, like lots more laning practice? What did you do exactly?
You mean when? You
Just
mean right
whenever
now?
you're trying to improve,
Or
like what do you do exactly to be able to do that?
I try to watch more better offlaner replay, and then to compare to my play. Yeah, and then see and looks what people do better
Who are the
to
offlaners
improve
that you
myself.
really look to learn from?
What offlane? I watch a lot though, especially O11.
Yeah.
I like this player. His play style is like kind of aggressive and always like manage to win the lane and then being more pressure on the map. Yeah, to give your enemy more pressure.
Cool, cool. Well, you were doing that all throughout basically all the last 4 games that we've cast for you, so you're doing a really good job learning from the Neck God. I have another question for you, just with regards to how the team actually came together and formed. Like, uh, tell me a bit about your connections, maybe with some of the other players, or was it just you liked how you guys played together in pubs, or was it something else that really made this team come together?
Uh, there's a 496 ex-manager. His name is Teddy. He make all of us together. Like we're not getting paid salary, and we just want to try our best to qualify. Like at least we're thinking to try hard 1 month. I really appreciate this guy. He's like the one to connect all of us into the same team, and we improve together every day. And then we qualify DPC. Yeah,
I have another
that
question on that actually. So, this is a bit of private information, but I've heard in the past that Ponlo, now playing over for Quincy crew, he had actually asked Exilern about 5 different times to try and play on a team with him, and every single time Exilern said no. So, what do you think was different about being able to bring the rest of you guys together? Obviously, you've mentioned Teddy, but is there like a message or a mentality that you guys have that might be a little bit different?
Wait, sorry, I don't understand.
No, that's all good.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
in the past, Exilern has said no to playing with Ponlo, like multiple times, at least 5 times. So, what do you think is special about you 5 guys that the whole team
Together,
believes? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe positive mental. I think we are all new player, right? Yeah, we respect each other. We listen to each other command, and then we connect together with our gameplay. That's our yeah.
What
That's it.
is what is the who's the in-game kind of leader and who's making a lot of these shot calls? Because we've been really impressed with just the coordination that you guys have had so far through your first 2 series.
I think Seal make the most call, and then me. Yeah, I think.
And
Cool.
with your you've got a decent amount time off now. I think your next series is going to be against Lil Gun at the start of week 2. How do you guys look to prepare for a lot of series? Like, what's maybe a week in the life, I suppose, of RSG?
Just scream every day. Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
that's why we can prepare and watch watch their draft more. Yeah, and then prepare with the drafting. Cause I think against Liu Gan the drafting is quite important.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to get
Yeah,
brooded, like, and Huskard, all
yeah,
these sorts.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
all right. So, I have one more, actually, 2 more questions. One, with this whole you mentioned scrimming every single day, do you just keep those scrims within, Southeast Asian teams, or are you doing what a lot of like T1 and Boom have been doing in scrimming against Chinese teams as well, so that you have a broader understanding of the meta and what's possible?
You mean for now we only scream the Southeast Asia team right now, but we will look further to scream with Chinese team if we can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. And all right, my last question is, we interviewed Exilern a couple of days ago, and he made sure to say, come and watch my Twitch stream and all that sort of stuff. Do you have anything that you want to promote, either your social media, or if you're streaming, where can people find you?
No, I don't have any social media.
Not
Only
yet,
like my personal Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't have any social media.
Oh,
right, all good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Zhao, I remember the first time I was introduced to you was your interview when you stood in for Vici Gaming. I can't remember the tournament. I'm sure you remember that. You're as bubbly as you were back then. I really appreciate your time for us, and congratulations, 2-0 way to start off the spring tour. I'm sure you guys are feeling really, really good. So thank you for joining us, mate.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, Zhao. All right, there we go. I mean, we're done and dusted, a 2-0 victory. I was that's all I
They're
was
rising,
hoping
man.
for. They're
The
rising.
stonks are rising.
This you've got the background perfectly. I mean, excellent. This is 4 games now. He's looked exceptional, and everyone. I can't even just say that. I could literally go through everyone. Zhao Yu's looked really good on initiation heroes. We've seen Zhao Bonbon on him, making plays on these defensive aspect of heroes, and MKS being put in maybe some murky waters where he had to play the mid lane last game, but he was able to pull out of the hat. The stonks are rising, man. If they can take that series versus Lilgun and then start 3-0, they might be changing their mind pretty shortly on just looking to stay in Division 2.
Yeah, I mean that'll be a much bigger test in my eyes. I find Lil Gun as like a top 3 contender
Yeah.
for this season of the DPC. So I'm keen to see how that one goes. I feel like it'll be a 2-1. Which way it goes, not 100% sure just yet, but we'll have to see how Lil Gun do this week when they end up playing their series. But that's Div 2 done for the day. That doesn't mean we're done with SEA Dota, though, does it? We got 2 Division 1 series coming at you.
And they're going to be so freaking high. First series, it's the both two promoted teams. We got Enigma Galaxy C up against Polaris. Personally, I'm really excited to see, because we were seeing, of course, Enigma Galaxy C in Gamers Galaxy, but that was with WeCast standing in, and then Polaris, they've been getting a lot of action in some third-party tournaments. I believe they just won PNX Bet. So now to get to be able to kick off the season for them. And then after that is Neon versus Fnatic as well. So we get to see how the new Neon roster is able to fare in Division 1. How we feeling? Any pre-predictions?
Oh, I'm gonna say Polaris, and I'm gonna say Fnatic. I'm feeling a lot more confident about the Fnatic prediction. But first one could really go either way. By the way, I just want to give a shout out. If you didn't know, the supporter packs are out now as well. And particularly for Polaris Enigma C, they've got some very good sprays available, both like some anime shiny glasses, as well as both Mizu, aka Miracle, and Enigma Miracle, pointing at each other with the Spider-Man memes. So definitely go and support them if you love memes and being able to spray those out, because, I mean, Aries and I will be in chat, we'll be watching, and we'll be laughing if those do come out in the games.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all the new supporter packs. I feel like the players will have a little bit more time to go through them and see which ones they personally want to use for the latest series. So Division 1 will be starting the games in about 48 minutes, but I'm sure the stream will be up by then. We're probably going to drop the stream, or we might keep it up. We'll keep you guys updated with what's going to happen, but that is Division 2.
Stay on the change.
Stay, don't go anywhere. We've got more DPC action, 2 best of 3s for Division 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys later on.